Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Battle Series, The School of Hard Knocks. Throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Global Link Battle Spot ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So, firstly, before we get into anything, guys, I will apologise, no videos Monday or Tuesday. So that is because this past weekend I went with some friends to the Malmo regional in Sweden, and it was pretty tiring. So I travelled on Friday, played the tournament on Saturday. After the tournament on Saturday in Sweden, then I played in the Sao Paulo Challenge, which was the online tournament organised by Zelda and Co, Sam and Co, to win win money to pay for a trip to play in the Sao Paulo International that is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So it was a pretty long day. I played the whole regional. We finished about 5:30, got back to the hotel, had to kind of log in, register kind of teams and things like that, grab some food, and then the tournament started about 7 p.m. our time, and then I played that, and I finished 10th in the regional, which I was quite happy about. I finished with a 5-2 record, just finishing 10th, so I think I tied my resistance on 9th, so just bubbling there. My two losses in the tournament, one was against Francisco, a Italian player, very good player, and playing a toxic team that kind of just out survived everything that I could kind of throw at it. And the other loss was to a good friend of mine, Terence, also from the UK. Had a super interesting team running things like Trevelint and Politoed, and really taking advantage of the rain mode in the team. Had things like Marowak in there as well. So it was a super interesting team, and I will be featuring on the channel at some point. So probably a couple of weeks' time, and we'll feature that team. So that'll be really interesting. We'll hopefully get Terence on the channel as well, so he can kind of talk us through the team and stuff like that. So that'll be really cool and something to look forward to as well. I finished 10th in the regional, then went back to play the Sao Paulo Challenge. I managed to actually finish 3rd place, so I got top 4 in that, and it was about 4 a.m. like our time when we were in Sweden. By the time that finished, so I was totally wiped out after that. We went to the event the next day, played the mid-season showdown, finished 11th in the mid-season showdown somehow, played a different team to what I ran in the regional and the Sao Paulo Challenge. But all in all, a really good weekend, really enjoyable, and it was great seeing friends and just hanging out and playing in the tournament. So that was that. The team I used in the regional and Sao Paulo Challenge was my International Challenge team, which I have featured on the channel quite a lot. So you guys will be aware of that. I did make some slight changes, and I can, if you guys want to see me play it again, or showcase it just a couple of times, just let me know in the comment section below, and that's definitely something we can do. But guys, on to today's episode. We left off last week with a pretty excellent game, like to end the week on, against that Trick Room team with the Tapu Fini kind of winning out against the Porygon 2. I don't know what I'm doing on my DS here. I don't think I must be in a different rule set. Yeah, rating battle. So sorry guys, I'll just quickly get through this as quick as I can. Yeah, we finished off with a really kind of positive record last week, and hopefully we can continue that this week. We will play for the rest of this week with the same team that we were running, the Tapu Fini team, and then I've got a bit of a treat for you guys next week. We will be having Ben Kiriakou, who is a past 2 times UK national champion. He's been a world competitor umpteen number of times, and he's having a phenomenal season this year. He's top 4'd both the London International and the recent Melbourne International. So we'll be featuring his team next week, and then on Friday next week we will get him on the channel and we will have his input, play some games with him, and then we'll have a bit of a chat with him. So hopefully that's kind of cool for you guys, and it's a massive privilege to have him on the channel with us as well. So I'm just thinking, has the global link, the ladder been reset? Has the season ended, or are we in a new season now? I feel like I've been out of the loop completely over the weekend, and like the last 2 days, I've just tried to get through work and sleep. So I probably have missed everything. It does look like the ladder has reset, so we're back to 1500 after kind of having a bit of a shaky start last week, and we managed to kind of rack up some wins, so that record's gone. But it's nice to start fresh, so we'll see how we get on in the end of this week. And we have our first opponent from the US, Edmund, on a rating of 1601, and he is running a team of Oranguru, Beware, Garchomp, Tapu Lele, Magnezone, and Araquanid. So hopefully I said that right. How are we going to approach this team? There's obviously a Trick Room switch in there with the Araquanid, the Magnezone as well, taking advantage of that, and the Beware as well, because it has got probably quite a low base speed, so it probably is able to take advantage of the Trick Room. So I think I do want to lead off with my Tapu Fini, just because of the Trick Room here. I think I might lead Tapu Fini, and I do like Muck here as well. We just need to be careful for that Garchomp. But then I am going to bring... Actually, I'm not going to lead Muck. I'm going to lead my Mandibuzz. I will bring... Ooh, what are we going to do? If the Trick Room goes up, then we could potentially take advantage of Marowak. Again, we need to be careful with a Garchomp. But I feel like Tapu Fini, Mandibuzz can deal with that. And I think I'll just round things off with the Muck. Oh, should I? Actually, Cortana might be better because of the Araquanid. That's in the team. But Mandibuzz doesn't do too bad a job against it, and neither does Tapu Fini. So I am just going to lock in with these four, and we'll see how we get on in our first match. What is this music I've picked? I have no idea. But, oh yeah, as well, guys, I got this as well. Some custom-made cover plates, if you can see them, which are pretty cool. So they're Mimikyu. And now I feel like I've got the Mimikyu custom cover plates. I feel like I need to make a Mimikyu team for some reason. Mimikyu's a cool Pokemon, so I definitely want to do that. We've got a few things lined up on the channel, so it might be a few weeks, and I've had some requests from you guys as well for things to feature, so we might get round to showing Mimikyu at some point before the season ends. Anyway, my opponent is leading off with Oranguru and Garchomp. We lead off with our Tapu Fini and our Mandibuzz. We have to be aware we can't just freely taunt into the Oranguru slot, but there is every possibility that it might be holding a Mental Herb. We also have to be careful that Garchomp could have the Z Crystal, so we could expect maybe a Tectonic Rage into, it would be the Tapu Fini slot there. But we should be able to survive that. And if he sets a Trick Room up, then it just means that we're going to be outspeeding that Garchomp next turn. So I will go for a Calm Mind here. And I think just... let's think. What am I going to do? Because I could just go for a Foul Play into the Garchomp to get some damage onto it, rather than go for a Taunt into the Oranguru. Because I've got a feeling it probably is Mental Herb, and that will just waste my turn. So rather than just waste a turn, I'm going to get some damage on that Garchomp when I can. If the Trick Room does go up, we're in a good position to kind of pick the KO up next turn. But we see my opponent withdraw that Garchomp, bring in the Magnezone, which I'm not too worried about, because remember, we do have the Marowak in the back, so that's just a security kind of blanket we can have here. So we'll probably will see the Trick Room though. We get the Calm Mind off with our Fini, Foul Play off with our Mandibuzz, do a little bit of damage to the Magnezone, and we see the Trick Room go up. So this next turn's pretty self-explanatory. I need to get the Marowak in. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I don't think the Oranguru is going to Psychic into the Mandibuzz slot. My opponent might see the Marowak coming in, but I feel like it's a pretty safe move. So I'm just going to go for a Muddy Water and switch my Marowak in. Hopefully that'll draw away any electric type attacks onto the Tapu Fini. And I'd imagine the Oranguru probably either go for an Instruct or, I don't know, maybe a Psychic. But then the other thing we need to watch out for is the Discharge as well, because Oranguru can have Telepathy, so the Magnezone can quite freely discharge next to it, and it doesn't need to worry about the Marowak at this point. So we do see a Psychic though come out from the Oranguru onto the Tapu Fini slot. We are able to take that critical hit isn't very helpful really in that situation. We see the Magnezone go for a T-Ball, but Marowak doing its job and protecting us very nicely there. We are going to get a Muddy Water off no accuracy drops, unfortunately, but we do hit both of them, so we get a nice bit of chip damage onto both my opponent's Pokemon. So we are very heavily threatening the Magnezone here. I'm just going to go for another Muddy Water with my Tapu Fini, and I think, I might just go for a Flare Blitz into the Oranguru with my Marowak. So yeah, we see the Magnezone protect here. Get the Flare Blitz off into the Oranguru. Do some huge damage with that thick club of Marowaks. And it is actually showing a, is it Super Berry? Yeah, it is. So it's the Guava Berry. So we could have actually went for that taunt turn 1. But like I said at the time, it's a bit of a risk going for it when you kind of suspect a mental herb. So that's, I guess, it's worked out all right. We see the Oranguru just go for a to reverse the Trick Room here. The thing is though, my Marowak will be outspeeding that Magnezone, I would have thought, unless that Magnezone is max speed, modest max speed, because I'm running a Tailwind variant Marowak, so we should be able to get the Boomerang off onto it. Actually, I might just go for a Shadow Bone. Shadow Bone should be enough to pick up the KO there, so I'll just Shadow Bone into it and go for another Muddy Water. We do get the Muddy Water off first. Is it enough? This is not great. So we knock out the Magnezone, and because we went for that Shadow Bone, it is going to go onto the Oranguru, but it's not going to affect it because of the normal typing that it's got. Fortunately for us though, the Oranguru just goes for an Instruct, which fails because the Magnezone isn't there anymore. So that is one little issue taken care of. I'd imagine the Garchomp, yeah, the Garchomp to come back in now. So we're free to just switch out the Marowak to take any potential earthquake damage. I think here though, I'm just going to protect my Tapu Fini, because I would expect this is the point where my opponent might go for a Tectonic Rage if he's got it into that Fini slot. So I am just going to protect it this turn. I'll get a bit more health back with the recovery regain. And I'll just switch in Mandibuzz, because then any incoming earthquake or ground attacks, it's going to be able to be immune to those. So we'll see what my opponent goes for here. So let's see, is this Garchomp going to carry the Z move? Oranguru just goes for the Protect. And here it is. So here is that Tectonic Rage that we thought was coming out, and it's going to probably launch onto the Tapu Fini, but because we've protected, we're going to be able to take this quite comfortably. And it might even be into the Mandibuzz slot, which would be even better. But no, it is into the Tapu Fini slot, and we will be able to take this very comfortably. Yeah, so that is fine. Right, so our Mystic Terrain does disappear, unfortunately. Here I'm just going to go for Muddy Water, and I'm going to go for a Tailwind with my Mandibuzz. Get the Tailwind up, and then we should be able to close this game out pretty quickly after that. My opponent just thinking about what he wants to do here. So the Garchomp goes for the Rock Slide. Hopefully we don't get any flinches. Yeah, so Tapu Fini flinches, Mandibuzz flinches, which is a bit unfortunate, and the Oranguru does get the Instruct off. So we're going to take another round of Rock Slide damage. So we do recover a little bit of health. That was a bit unfortunate. I think this next turn I'm going to protect my Tapu Fini, and I'm just going to go for another I'm actually going to go for a roost with my Mandibuzz here. So if we're not flinched by the first rock slide, at least we'll get the roost off. So we're not going to get a double round of rock slides here. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. As long as we get the tailwind up, we're all right. And the Garchomp actually goes for a protect, which is a very questionable move for my opponent. He really should be keeping the pressure on with that rock slide, going for the flinches while he can. Now we will get the roost off here, so Mandibuzz is still sitting in a decent enough position, although we are heavily threatened with our Tapu Fini. This might be a time to go for a switch, because we can't protect. I'd imagine the Tapu Fini will go for a Psychic into my Tapu Fini slot, and I'm going to just go for a Tailwind with my Mandibuzz here. If we can get the Tailwind off, it's going to put us in a bit of a better position going into the last few turns of this match. And at least bringing Muck in here, we'll be able to take any Psychic type attacks. I doubt the Garchomp will go for an Earthquake. Yeah, so Mandibuzz avoids the attack there, which is huge. Muck will be able to take that. Does take a lot of damage though from it. Another critical hit. And we see a Psychic into that slot, so we get away with that quite nicely and get the Tailwind up. So, I imagine the Lele to actually protect here. So I'm going to protect my Muck. I'm going to go for a Foul Play into the Garchomp slot, which should take it below about 50% damage. And then we'll be able to kind of KO at the next turn. But we're going to see the Oranguru come back in here. We'll see probably an Earthquake come out. So we are faster than the Garchomp, which is nice to know. Ooh, that's a bit of a problem. So we're not doing the 50% that we want to be doing. My opponent revealing that the Oranguru has a telepathy ability. Now, don't really have anything I can switch into an Earthquake, but we should be able to take an Earthquake with our. I'm going to go for a Poison Jab into the Garchomp slot, and I'm just going to Foul Play into the Oranguru slot, because I don't want a Trick Room being set up. And imagine that's what my opponent might go for. Just to get rid of that. So the Oranguru does go down. We get the Poison Jab off. So my Muck is actually outspeeding the Garchomp as well, which is good information for that next turn if we do get through this turn with the Muck. Which we might not do. Yeah, I think this Earthquake will probably pick up the KO here. Okay. Which is a bit unfortunate. So, I am just going to bring in my Marowak. That even might be a Scarfed Tapu Lele, to be honest, but maybe not as well. What I'll do is just double up into the Garchomp slot here with a Foul Play and a Shadow Ball. If this doesn't take it out, then hopefully the Shadow Ball will do the job. Yeah, but we pick up the KO onto the Garchomp with the Foul Play, and then we should get the Shadow Ball off into the Lele, which should be enough to pick up the KO as well. Yeah, so that is game one. Bit more dragged out than it needed to be, I think. But we kind of win out, so that's not too bad. I didn't unfortunately play this team at the regional or in any of the tournaments that I played over the weekend. So at the mid-season showdown, I did change up a team. I really wanted to test Tapu Lele Drifblim because that's such a cool new kind of trendy pairing that's kind of come out recently. Obviously we had Zoe win the Melbourne International with that, and we had obviously the first appearance of it that we've seen kind of with any success was Shona Hanami's team, which you featured on the channel. So that's it was nice to take that. I kind of put a team together with it and took it into the mid-season showdown. I think a combination of me being very tired and at the start of the tournament didn't help. from the night before. But I finished alright. I mean, I finished with the next 2 record in 11th place, so it wasn't too bad. But it was very interesting. I'm not massively, I didn't fall in love with the Drifblim straight away, but I think maybe using it a different way is probably the way to go about it. But we have our next opponent, and coincidentally, they are running a Drifblim, Lele. So this would be a very interesting match indeed. They've obviously got, you know, there's also a possibility that I always say when I see an Liga that it might carry Trick Room. There's 2 very prominent Trick Room Pokemon on my opponent's team, in the Snorlax and the Buzzwole, who will be able to take advantage of that. I think as well, one thing that we need to be careful of is that Liga and the Drifblim as well, because it could very well carry Will-O-Wisp. So we need to bring our Fini and use the Fini very carefully here and cleverly here. But I am going to lead off with my Kartana and my Tapu Fini here. I think I will bring... Do I want to bring my Mandibuzz? Mandibuzz might not be a bad lead, to be honest. And at least I've got the Taunt then. But yeah, because I imagine my opponent will probably lead off with that Arcanine. So I'm going to bring Kartana, and I think for my last one, I'll bring Muck. Because then if that Snorlax does come in, at least we've got the knockoff then to take advantage of at least trying to get rid of that potential Super Berry that it is holding. So we'll see how this matches up. Yeah, it would have been nice to try to use this team. But I don't know, I just wanted to try that combination and see how it got on. But I do like this team a lot. I think it's got a lot of potential. And the more I'm playing with it, the more I'm getting used to it. And it just seems, I just seem very comfortable with it. And I still really like Tapu Fini a lot. It is very, very good, especially for this sort of situation where I'm going to get the terrain up. It's got the ability to kind of overwrite that very popular Tapu Lele terrain and start disrupting the game like quite quickly. So we do see both the Drifblim and the Mandibuzz get their seeds activated with their respective terrains on the field, but we do get the Misty terrain up because we are a bit slower. So I think what I'm going to do is go for, let's just have a quick look what my opponent's got in his team. Yeah, it's going to be worth my while going for a Calm Mind, and I think I will just match. See, this Tapu Lele could have. I will match the Tailwind here, but the Tapu Lele could have Taunt, so it may be able to stop my Mandibuzz getting the Tailwind up. But if we can match it, then that kind of helps us out. But we just see a Moonblast come out from the Tapu Lele into the Mandibuzz. We are able to take that, so that's fine. With that, the seed boost that we've got. Get a Calm Mind off with our Tapu Fini. And we'll get the Tailwind off with Mandibuzz as well. It's a bit unfortunate because Mandibuzz now is in range for another Moonblast to kind of pick up the KO there on it. Let's see, what can we do? Not really got anything I want to switch in to take any Moonblast damage because that Lele has shown that it is Life Orb, so it will be doing a decent chunk to either Muck or Kartana when I bring it in. I'd rather bring them in full health rather than not at all. So I think I'm just going to go for a Muddy Water, and I'll go for a Foul Play onto the Drifblim as well, just to get some damage on that. You do see the Drifblim go for a Shadow Ball into the Tapu Fini, but because of the Calm Mind, we're going to be able to easily take that. Moonblast again coming out onto the Mandibuzz, so this will pick up the KO, unfortunately. We do lose Mandibuzz, but it is going to mean we are able to get our Kartana onto the field this next turn, put some pressure onto that Tapu Lele. Drifblim avoids the Muddy Water, which is a bit unfortunate, but we are hitting the Tapu Lele, which is nice, so putting it around half health. So this next turn, and the nice thing is, because we've got the Misty terrain up, we're protected from any possible Will-O-Wisps from that Drifblim as well. So I think what I'm going to do is go for a... I'm going to go for a Moonblast into the Tapu Lele slot. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go for Muddy Water because I'm going to double up into the Drifblim here. Yeah, with a Smart Strike and a Muddy Water. And hopefully that, I don't know if it will be enough. Yeah, so the Tapu Lele does protect here. We'll probably see an attack come into the Kartana from the Drifblim. Drifblim goes for the Will-O-Wisp, so my opponent forgetting about the Misty Terrain there. So we will get our 2 attacks off for free. Smart Strike doing huge damage to the Drifblim. And we will get the Muddy Water off this time on to that Drifblim. So this is nice. And we should... Ooh, we just missed the KO there. But we're not in too bad a position at all. So I'm free here just to be quite safe. Go for a Moonblast into the Drifblim slot and go for a Smart Strike into the Tapu Lele. We may take a Shadow Ball from the Drifblim onto the Kartana slot, which is probably coming out now, yeah. But we'll be outspeeding the Tapu Lele. Shadow Ball does massive damage, which is a bit unfortunate. But we will pick up a KO, get the Beast Boost, more importantly, and we should pick up the KO here with the Moonblast onto the Drifblim as well. So we're not sitting in too bad a position. We're going to stop my opponent being able to take any more use out of the Tailwind from his side of the field. And this Kartana is going to pretty much threaten anything that comes in on my opponent's end of the field. Tailwinds peter out, whichever. And we'll see my opponent down to his last 2 Pokemon. So we do still have the Muck in the back as well, so that is going to be an option for us to switch into if we need to. We do see the Buzzwole come in, and the Nihilego. Okay. And there's no threat of anything kind of outspeeding the Kartana unless that Nihilego is Choice Scarfed. But I think we're pretty safe to just go Muddy Water, and I'm going to go for... I think the Nihilego out of everything will probably be the thing that protects here. But I might double up into my Tapu Fini. That's the only thing. We don't want to be giving away Beast Boosts. I think I'm going to Smart Strike into the Buzzwole here. So, but actually we run out of time. Get the Smart Strike off onto the Nihilego, which is super nice. So, and we will get the Muddy Water off. So hopefully it does hit. Nihilego gets a Beast Boost. We see a Poison Jab come out from the Buzzwole. We should be able to survive this though. And as long as this Muddy Water hits, which it does, so that's fine. So we kind of get out of jail card, get some good damage onto the Buzzwole. But we did see there that the Buzzwole did outspeed the Tapu Fini. So that's something to kind of keep in mind for this next turn. So we're probably going to have to protect with it just to get some additional damage. And recovery, back, and we can bring our Muck in here. And I wonder if this Buzzwole has got the all-out pummeling, the Z. Ooh, I don't know what to do here. Maybe just go for. I think I'm just going to double up into the Buzzwole with a Poison Jab, and a Moonblast. Hopefully that should be enough to kind of pick up the KO there. But we'll see. Game's not over yet. So we see another Poison Jab come out from the Buzzwole. Is into the Tapu Fini. Oh, it does take us down though, which is a bit unfortunate. That might cost us the game, because the Buzzwole is now going to get that Beast Boost. We do get the Poison Jab off onto it. See how much this does. Not very much at all. And we don't get the Poison either. Now I think we are in trouble, because if this Buzzwole does have the Z fighting move, then it probably will be able to launch it now, and it's going to do, probably will pick up the KO if we don't protect. So I'm just going to protect this turn, and hopefully we can kind of take it. Yeah, so we do see it. It is a bit frustrating, because we should have went with the initial thought there and protected the Fini, and just went for that that bit of initial damage with the poison jab, and then that would have put it into Moonblast range. And then, you know, you can only target down one of my Pokemon, so we would have been able to get either a Moonblast or a poison jab off, and then hopefully that might have been enough to put it in KO range. So we do protect, which is nice. We do take less damage from that all-out pummeling, manage to survive. But I think we're just going to have to go for another poison jab. Hopefully we get through this turn. Hopefully we survive the superpower. I don't know if we will though. Let's see, fingers crossed. Come on, Mac. No, not a critical hit either. I don't know if we would have anyway, but yeah, I kind of really got complacent there. There was no need for us to not protect the Tapu Fini there. We knew we were in range from a poison jab, so it was the play for my opponent to get rid of that, take that out of the equation, and then easily clean up the match. It did have the all-out pummeling Z move, which is a bit unfortunate, but lesson learned. So we'll just take that into tomorrow's episode and see if we can have a few more good battles. So very good game to my opponent there. And guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's probably been a bit long-winded in places, but I did just want to tell you about the weekend and how I got on and what I was doing and why we didn't have a couple of episodes at the start of this week. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Please leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed the episode. It's always appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Like I say, we've got a lot of really cool content kind of coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have Ben on next week featuring his team from one of the internationals, and then we'll probably feature a good friend Terence who top cut the Malmo regional with his really interesting team the following week. So lots of cool content coming out, and we'll be back with QR codes as well next week. So we'll probably won't have any QR codes this week, unfortunately, but we'll kick back off with those next week and get back into the full force swing of things. So I will leave things there, guys, but as always, it's been a pleasure. It's nice to be back, and until tomorrow, I will see you later. So whatever you're doing, take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching again, and until then, I will see you later. So till then, guys, see you later. Bye bye.